David Tate. I'm in the Bio 168 class, and I am doing a short video on the human skull. There will be 25 structures that we will be discussing, or I will be discussing, and you'll probably have to look in the mirror to be able to tell exactly what those are. That's the only piece of paper I got out. That's it. That's all I got. So let's get started. This is a human skull. Actually, this is a model of a human skull. It's not a real human skull. First thing I'm going to tell you about is the frontal bone. That's this bone right here. Toot, 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 toot. Frontal bone is separated, or is bordered by the, there we go, coronal suture goes right across here, and here we have the parietal bones, and right down the center of them rascals, can you see it? There's a sagittal suture right here, goes back around here, and it ends on this suture right here, which is a lambdoid suture. Sure I got it right. A lambdoid suture, and there's the occipital bone. The occipital bone is near and dear to the hearts of all paratroopers because that's what we hit a lot. Then we have the squamous suture right across here in the temporal bone. It was like a zygomatic bone, and then we have the mandible, and it's this bone right across here. This is your lower jaw. With the mandibular ramus, we have the mandibular notch, which is right there. I think you can see that right there, right underneath where that wire is. And with the mandibular condyle right here. And the reason I'm pointing this one out in particular is I have a fibrous union right there. That's how I know where those things are at. Here is the mental foramen. I like foramens. Alright, so now we have the, I'll make sure I'm getting my stuff down right. Yep, I was all told that. Oh, maxilla. Now we have the maxilla. That's this rascal right here. This is a pretty big bone right through here. This is another one that I broke. Nine of the bones that I broke, I guess. We have the vomer here and the nasal bone right in there. We have the infraorbital foramen, which is right there. Got one on each side, and then we have the supraorbital foramen. Those are the right here, and these are the orbits. These are your eye sockets. I've broken this one and this one, and I got wire in that one. It looks really cool on a water's view X-ray. Let's see. Looks like that's everything from the outside. And this little fella right here comes with a handy-dandy removable top, and this is the foramen magnum. Foramen magnum's something that we study a lot in EMS because there's a condition when you get a closed head injury where the brain swells and it tends to push down on this. And it's called Cushing's syndrome or Cushing's reflex or herniation syndrome. We're getting away from naming things for people. I prefer herniation syndrome. Here we have the, I think this is the last thing on my list. Let's go back up here. Here we have the Crista Galli. It's kind of a projection right there, and it's around the cribriform plate, which is a sieve-like area that several nerves pass through, and the sella tunica here, and then we have the jugular foramen, which is whoops, okay, right there. It's right there. And unfortunately on this model it's not well formed on the underside, so it doesn't actually go through. And I think that's all 25 of them. I'm going to put this back together. Now this is the human skull. We call this the cranial vault because it's, once it's formed in an adult, it's really tight. And while there seems like a lot of foramen, the foramen magnum is the most important one that's still left, and that's where the brainstem becomes the spinal cord and passes right through those cervical vertebrae. Anyway, I think I probably bored you enough. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.